Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tetty Melliya. My ID number is 1821220055. In this presentation, I will discuss about a template course planning or syllabus design. The first material is about what is template. The second materials is about the use of planning templates. And the last materials is about the steps identified in this template. The first materials is what is template. Template is provided here for planning a course. It is offered as a usable model which might be used at a later time. It might also serve as a homework, assignment, or as a class activity. The second materials is about the use of planning templates. The first is this template can be used to design an activity in our course. The second is to clarify our understanding of the course. And the third is to develop a systematic plan for the course activity to respond to the specific learning and teaching context of the course. However, if we are using the template to prepare syllabus, a course plan which will be followed by other teachers and in your program or others, our response will be more formal and maybe written up as a background report for discussion and reference as a foundational curriculum document. We can use a range of approaches or strategies to elicit the information required. For example, conversation with colleges, reviewing materials, interviews, questionnaire, focus groups. It may be useful to examine other or previous program descriptions, syllabus, course, documents, calendars, or curriculum descriptions. The last materials is the steps identified in this template. The first steps is explores critical background information that situate the course within key features of the teaching and learning context. The second step is provides a guide for planning the overall or horizontal scopes of the course. For example, the first is identifying outcomes. What are the intended learning outcomes for the course? The second is mapping assessment into learning outcomes. How will I evaluate the overall effectiveness, impact, and usefulness of the course? What evidence will I collect over time to evaluate the quality of the course in achieving the purposes for which it was designed? The activities and events that define what happened in the day-by-day sequence of the course. For example, the first is aligning assessment with intended learning outcomes, mapping assessment into activity over times within the course. How will I know my students have learned what I have taught? How will I assess their learning in relation to the intended outcomes of the course? What evidence will I collect over time to evaluate my student achievement in meeting or exceeding in the intended learning outcomes? What will be the most useful assessment task given the context and purpose of the course? This question relates to assessment tasks which map into the overall intended learning outcomes of the course on the one hand, and day-to-day course on the other. Assessment tasks are at the nexus of both horizontal, long-term, and vertical day-to-day planning in course. And the second is mapping content into outcomes and times. What will be taught? And the last is mapping content into activity over time. How will the course be taught? And the last steps is connects the horizontal to the vertical planning using in the model in table 2.1. And the horizontal, my course, time allocation, week, that time, intended learning outcomes, assessment evidence collected and tasks, activities, purpose, event, resources. That's all I can explain. Thank you very much for your great attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.